hold your conversations. Thank you. I know there's like tactful ways, there's like people clap and do all these fun things. I need to learn one of those exercises. But anyways, thanks everybody, thanks for coming. My name is Derek Marabon, CEO of Ingenix Digital Marketing, and I'm up here with Stacy Collett. Woo! Keeping it exciting. Stacy is from Dollarville Printing, a digital print shop in town. And the reason we're up here is this is LA2M. We're a 501c3 nonprofit marketing education group. We meet every Wednesday. And thanks for coming. Every week we have great speakers. And let's see, what do? We have a LinkedIn group, we have a Facebook page, we have a Twitter. We have a Twitter account, so you can follow us on Twitter. We have a couple of people tweeting today. John and Jessica are tweeting from LA2M, so follow along at LA2M. You can check in on Foursquare if you'd like to do that. We like to stay connected socially. Carter Sherline of the Frog Print Studios always takes pictures, which is great. And he posts them up on Facebook so you can see yourself. And then Roger always films us. Roger Rayle always films, and we live stream this across the world. So thanks for being a part of it. The reason Stacy's up here, Stacy's the treasurer. We pass the hat every week, so it's free to attend LA2M. If you want to help defray our costs, you can throw a few bucks in the hat. We'd appreciate it. So Stacy will pass that. And we also, every month we have a sponsor. Is Dexter Builders here? All right, Dexter Builders, why don't you come on down? They're our sponsor this month. Every month we have a sponsor. It costs $250 to sponsor LA2M, and you get to send out the email list. Our email goes out to 1,500 people a month, and you get to say a few words of the program. A week, 1,400 people a week in the Detroit area. So if anybody's interested in being a sponsor, talk to Mary Lou. But here's this month's sponsor.
Hi, my name is Jordan. I'm with Dexter Builders. Kind of running out of things to say. We got the long one, so and it's easier for me.
Next week too.
I still have next week too. Oh, jeez. This is supposed to be my grand finale speech, but it's a lot easier for me to talk with people than talk at people. But I think I'm going to just go with the KISS method. You know, keep it simple, stupid. And in our meetings, we were talking about how everybody comes to us and they see our big jobs, our remodeling jobs. You know, anywhere from remodeling a whole house to a kitchen, a basement, you know, even building a whole house. But a lot of times, people don't realize that we do the small projects too. And sometimes those are just important. You know, if you need something painted, you're just looking to get, you know, maybe you already have a deck, you need to replace some boards in it. You know, anything from, you know, screen doors, you know, screen windows, replacing a front door. Those are the important things too when you already have a home, just the upkeep so you can make it nice. So I guess that's the thing that we were supposed to focus on this week, and I'll let you guys know, you know, big or small, we can do everything for you. We'll come by and give you a free estimate. You know, we'll do free blueprints, free planning to make sure we're the right people for you. And if not, you know, we've been around since 2000, so we know a lot of great people that can help you out if you look for something different too.
Right. All right, thanks Jordan for sponsoring. Everybody needs to go to Dexter Builders and get an addition put on. So thank you for sponsoring. That's the least you could do. A bathroom. Okay. Kidding. But, okay, so Stacy's going to give our speaker a shirt. We all sent these cool shirts, which are great. Bank Mid Arbor got shirts for us, so we give the speaker a shirt every week. And let me see the format of the program. Our speaker's going to talk for about 30 minutes, but there may be some time for Q&A.
And the rules you have to wear to work tomorrow.
All right, perfect. There may be time for Q&A. Is there any first-timers? Anyone here for your very first LA2M? Okay, a handful of people. Welcome. We hope you come back, tell your friends, tweet about it, and we welcome you. So you will get a chance to introduce yourself at the very end of the program. So at 12:45, we'll get to go around the room and introduce yourselves. Okay, so you guys can look forward to that and introduce yourself. But for now, we have a great speaker, Karim Motawi, who does not work at Motawi Tower, but he used to. He's now with Wizard Enterprises, which sounds very like magical and futuristic and wizardy. We're big Harry Potter fans. And he's going to talk about being from a small company, how do you grow that marketing plan? And I just have to ask, and I should have asked this earlier, but what does Diaspora mean?
Diaspora?
Yeah, what is
diaspora, you know, is, well, think of a dandelion spreading its seeds.
Okay.
That's your diaspora. You know, if you have a group of people that get spread all over the place, they're your diaspora.
Okay.
It'll make sense later, I promise.
He's ready. Oh my God, he's all about the diaspora. I didn't know. So anyways, let's give a big round of applause to Karim Motawi.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you opportunity to be here with you guys. When I was approached by Chris Kochmansky to give a little talk, I had two titles in mind for this talk. This is the first one, which sort of describes sort of my first 20-year marketing experience with a company, the Motawi Tile Works, and then my second marketing experience with a company that you've never heard of, called Wizard Enterprise, and it's not really surprising given the nature of our business. But this was the other topic, or the other title it could have been. And really this is the discussion about how the marketing needs of two companies that are in the same business can be so very different from each other, and what a surprise that ended up being for me. And so something to keep in mind, you marketing professionals who actually been trained in marketing, which is not something that I have been. So this was a sort of a big eye-opening experience for me, and one that I think that is worthy of sort of talking about. A little bit of background about tile in the United States for a second. 25 years ago, really the model was pretty straightforward. You had big importers and big manufacturers, and they cut deals with a sort of a distribution company, and they would take their tile and they would sell it to all the local mom and pops who would then sell it on to you. And that model, it worked quite well for many years, until it completely changed. And we took all the pieces of that puzzle and we threw them up in the air and allowed everybody to buy from everybody else. And the advent of the internet, the advent of cheaper shipping and UPSing things all over the place, that really, really changed the way the tile business worked. If you're a big enough client, you can go right to the factory, even if that factory is in China for your project. And that really, the pieces have never actually settled out. That's sort of how this works. So what that meant for a company like Motawi was basically the gatekeepers of that industry disappeared. Now we can sell to anybody, all the time, everywhere. And that does sort of present some issues. So for Motawi, what that meant was not relying on the larger company's brand presence to sell our product, right? We're no longer selling everything to that one large company that's going to make our sample kit together, going to print all our literature and distribute it all. Now you got to do it all yourself. And that left a terrific opportunity for lots of small players to do different and unique things and go out and market themselves individually. And that wasn't really, for the handmade tile world especially, that was a huge change. We went from the number of tile companies that were manufacturing in this country in say 1980, it kind of tripled into the 90s, because all these little guys in their garage could suddenly bypass the big gatekeeper and sell themselves, and they did. And that was kind of a cool thing. It also meant that to stand out in that crowd, you had to do what we did, which was, you have to build yourself a little brand. Okay? You're competing against these Goliaths out there in the tile industry, and you got to bring something special. So, and I'll say this, that at the time, we didn't really understand that we were building a scrappy little brand. We didn't understand that. We were just sort of doing our thing, and it sort of happened. It's only sort of looking back in retrospect that we can understand sort of, how we did it and how it all sort of came together. Those words up there are, I think, a pretty solid description of what the Motawi brand actually means today. The big one for me that was and most interesting was the historic one. I mean, Motawi, of course, is not historic. The company is 25 years old. And so, 5 years in, we were not a historic company. But we actually tied ourselves with historical style. And so that gave our brand some heft. We were the new company. We called it the new old company. Everybody looked at that name and they said, oh, this is a great little company, and it sounds like it's been around forever, and it's well established, and it's sort of from this arts and crafts period of the teens. And no, started in the 90s. So that's a little bit about Motawi. When it comes down to selling, when it comes down to selling for Motawi, it operates in two different markets. There's the gift store market, you know, your 16 Hands, your Ann Arbor Art Centers, and then there are the tile stores where you're going to sell tile for a fireplace or a kitchen backsplash or anywhere you use tile. So the philosophy we had at Motawi was, we're going to have a nice little brand, we're going to do national advertising, we're going to have a web presence, we are going to, actually, if you ever received a Motawi tile for a gift, say, you flip that thing over and on the back there's a stamp that says Motawi Tile Works, Ann Arbor, Michigan. And I'll tell you what, that ink stamp at $12.95 was probably the best marketing investment we ever made. Every single one of those little tiles turned into a little advertising. It would just wait there on the wall, secretly waiting until somebody was like ready to do their fireplace, and they'd flip that thing over and go, all right, I'm going to call Motawi. Okay? So that was our rainmaking. And so for us, it was building client demand for our product. Okay, clients went to tile stores with that tile in hand and said, that's what I want right there. I want that tile. Go get it for me. If you don't have it, get it. Okay? Very client focused that way. And then so we believe that we make our rain, we do our marketing, we do all those things that you did. You have your website and you do ads and you do arts and crafts conferences, and that's terrific. And then the other half of it was the buckets. And the buckets is working with showroom staff people to catch the rain. Okay? Tile is a complicated sale when you're going to do it in your house, especially for a boutique arrangement like Motawi is. And so you really kind of need an architect or a designer or at least a tile salesman to help you through. And so giving those folks the tools to actually catch the rain was a really important piece of how we did it. So 20 years in, it's time for a change. You know, I get a call from a good friend of mine in the tile business, a gentleman named Michael Meager, and he says, Karim, you know, I've got a challenge for you. His company is called Wizard Enterprise. It's who I work for now. And they've been in business for 25 years. And frankly, they're getting ready to go out of business. I found this out later. He says to me, you know, this is 2 years in, he says, the decision to hire you was one half of a question we were asking ourselves, and the question was, close the doors or hire somebody to help us out. And so I'm like, thanks for telling me 2 years later. So the situation was this. This company, Wizard Enterprise, had been in business again for 25 years with basically one client. That one client closed 2/3 of their stores in one day. And this company is in trouble. This is 2008. Sales have fallen 75%. So we're hurt. So I like a challenge, I'm not gonna lie. So I say, okay, mate, I'm ready to come. Let's do this. I know how to do this. This is great. we're gonna make a scrappy little brand. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna tie this product into an historical thing. It's really cool. It's a high quality product. You guys know what you're doing. This is gonna be great. We're going to do websites and catalogs and national advertising. Heck, we even changed the name because honestly, what kind of a company name is Wizard Enterprise? Honestly, right, exactly. You know, as it turns out, the name Wizard Enterprise is left over from a pinball machine vending company that the guy had like way back when. So he was the pinball wizard. I'm like, I don't know what that has to do with tile exactly. It kind of never did. So I said, okay, great, let's go. So I called my friend Chris Kotmansky and I said, all right, let's go. Let's do this new brand. Oh, did I mention this company was getting ready to go out of business? Right, there's our marketing budget, right there in that box. We're in trouble. We can't do that thing. Poor Chris, he knows. He goes, you know, I said, Chris, you know, we're going to do this brand repositioning. Pardon me, guys. We need to do a marketing study about sort of where we fit in, how can we change the name, and great, let's make a plan, let's go. And then I had, sorry, Chris. Yeah, no. We're going to start from ground zero here. And so we had to take a step back and look at the situation of that company and really decide how are we going to do this now? Plan A is absolutely toast. We didn't have the budget. I was the budget. So this is what we had. I was intimidated, I gotta tell you. I was like, oh crap. How are we gonna make this work? And through a lengthy series of discussions and sort of feeling our way, we sort of cooked up a plan. And basically that plan was to take those problems and actually turn them into assets. Our first problem was that we didn't really have much of a brand. Well, as it turns out, in the tile business, and in many businesses, that's kind of okay sometimes. A big piece of Wizard's business, up to that point, had been making tile for somebody else and using their brand name. Okay, so we did that with one company, we'll do it with several others. And so that has turned into a big piece of business for us. I've been working with these people in the industry for a long time, and frankly, as it turns out, a big brand name in the tile industry, it can actually be a bit of a liability, as it turns out. So let's think back to our globe that we had there that had all the arrows that were now pointed every which way. Okay, you've all done it. You've done the internet. You're going to buy something. Okay, a TV or a computer or an Xbox or what have you. You search for it, you find all the 10 places that have it, you find the one with the lowest price, and bang, you go. Well, the tile industry kind of, the same thing was sort of happening. Well, here's the problem with that. So, you're an established brand-named tile company, you have your product out there, you have the catalog, everything's great, the client goes to the showroom, maybe sees a little bit of it, and then decides that they know what they want. We'll go down the street and we'll price shop now. This guy will give it to me for 20% cheaper. Well, here's the problem with that. And that is that if you squeeze all the value add that a showroom adds to that product, actually helping you design it, helping you pick out the pieces, count the pieces, helping you simplify that complex sale, things will go wrong. Okay? Does that make any sense? So if we just shop purely on price, then the showroom that we're going to get it from the cheapest, they can't pay their salesperson to help you. They can't pay to train that person, and so you're going to have a worse result, frankly. And so that ends up being a liability, is just having a big brand name that everybody can shop. So what we end up doing is, and lots of these are distributor brands, most of them up there. What they have gone to is a private label model, right? It's your Kroger, it's your Del Monte, Green Bean, Green Giant, Libby's, Springfield model. They're buying a similar tile from, let's see, how do I say this? You have one factory that's making the same tile line or a similar tile line for all these different companies, right? You make them unique enough so that they're not competing with each other, but then that store gets their own. Oh, you want to buy this tile from us? Well, you can only get it here. You can't shop it. Okay, that allows them to have a little bit more price control. It allows them to invest in their salesperson and actually make a better experience, right? So by using people's retail brands, we didn't need our own. Does that make sense? Okay. So that was kind of a big deal for us. Is taking that model and expanding on it. And actually, it's allowing us to do some really cool things. Like the project we're working on right now, how many people are familiar with Eva Zeisel, sort of the modernist designer? Yeah, no? You will. She's coming back. We're making a proprietary private product line for those guys, right next to, on the same equipment as we're making tile for Country Floors or Waterworks. But you can only get those tiles at their stores, so it's kind of a neat deal. So using other people's labels, private labels, big deal. That makes perfect sense for us. The other problem that we had is we had no work. Guys in the shop were literally, get a Mark, we need work. Please, give us something to do. You know, they want to do their jobs. You know, they really desperately wanted to do it. Whenever they got a job, they would dive on it. So we turned that into an asset for us. We essentially reorganized the sort of the back room of the house and said, you know, you need the tile quick? Well, we can get it to you really quick. Quick ship, in stock, in the tile business, those are powerful words, as it turns out. And when do people want their tiles? They want to know when they want it.
Yesterday.
They want it yesterday. And not only do they want it yesterday, they'd like it for half price too, but we'll get there. So, the no work, we'll get it done right away, really quickly thing ended up being a super powerful sales tool for us. It actually now represents a pretty decent sized bit of our volume. You know, the parenthetical behind that is, okay, we've been making speedy delivery promises, and when we had no work in the house, that was really easy to do. Well, you know, now that we have more work in the house, it's getting a little bit more difficult. But it's across from there, right? No clients. Diaspora. Okay. So, the history of the company, we have one client, big client, Waterworks. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They used to have 26 stores. And then the next day, they had 1/3 as many stores. And as we said before, that represented a pretty serious challenge for this company. But it was dark days, really, for the wizard. So, all the salespeople that have been working at Waterworks in those 26 stores, we had a 20-year relationship with those people. They knew that the Wizard Enterprise, the company that nobody knows, I like to say we're the most well-established mid-sized handmade tile company you've never heard of. We had a tremendous relationship with those folks. They knew. You call a wizard, you get that thing done. You know, and in this business, that was an important thing. More important than I ever realized, frankly. So those folks, over the next couple of years, those salespeople, they all went off and they spread, they became our diaspora, and they landed all over the country. And when they landed, they picked up the phone. And we followed them. We knew where they were. We kept track of them. We were watching LinkedIn. Oh, Susie is now at a tile store in Santa Fe. Well, we're going to call up Susie. Susie is so happy to hear from us. Oh God, I miss working with you guys. This is terrific. This became a huge, huge asset for us. I can't say how. Our diaspora, they're my favorite people. They call up, they know what to expect, they know us, and they trust us, and they become our best sort of marketing tool. They are our, ad hoc sales force of the gods, as it turns out. Pretty amazing. So, gotta love your diaspora. The rain in the buckets. It's now a garden house. The salespeople, the ones that we have built these trusting relationships with, they're the ones who create the rain for us now. Wizard Enterprise doesn't do any national advertising. You've never seen it, you probably never will. And we are working on our brand, the funky name brand, we are working on it. But for us, it's actually those salespeople. In the tile business, the difference between having a successful store that carries your product and having a store that does nothing is one person. And it's not the owner of that store either. It's one salesperson. They'll take a $1,000 account and they'll turn it into a $100,000 account for you. You can see it. Oh, Larry, who was working at the store for 20 years, doing a terrific job. Larry gets hired away by a store the next town over, who happens to carry our product too. Suddenly, that first store, their sales tank. That second store goes crazy. It's because of Larry. Okay? Those champions, those folks that you have built your relationship with over the years, they're your people. And we build the relationship with those folks by delivering product on time, quality service, helping work through problems, because like all businesses, there are problems to work through. You build that level of trust with those folks, and they'll come back to you over and over again. And that ends up being, really the basis of the rebirth and the success of this company. Over the last 3 years, we've managed to increase sales over 200%. We're on target to do a healthy increase this year. We've really sort of pulled the fat out of the fire on this one. And it's in large portion because of finding those people, building those relationships with those people, reconnecting with those people. It's a big deal, So that was a real surprise for me, as a marketing person. I mean, it may seem obvious that your relationship with individual people is the important thing. I think sometimes we lose track of it. I know actually I did. In our first company we were like, oh, it's the brand. We got this nice little brand. It's all great. And it's part of it, certainly. But connecting with those individual salespeople, that's really where it ends up being. And so, Wizard Enterprise, we're plugging along. We keep on, we finally did get a website, and the guys at Design Hub, Chris and Ted did make us some beautiful catalogs, and so our sort of brand image is sort of getting polished up, and we're moving forward on those similar tracks. But it really ends up being, working with those people, the relationships that we have with those salespeople that ends up being the big difference for us. So I'll say it back. I'll say it back one more time. But the big takeaway for us was the marketing is great. You need it. It's important. But now we're actually marketing to a much smaller group of people. Okay, it's marketing to our individual store champions. Those people are ended up being the people I market to and are our clients now. They're the important piece of what we're doing here. And when you're thinking about marketing to those champions and connecting with those people, it's different than mass market stuff. It's real different. It's providing them tools that they can use on a daily basis so they can do their job better, not just with your product, but with any product that they're selling. Becoming a resource for them. Hey, we got this problem that we solve the same way every single time. Maybe we can help them figure out how to do that with our line or with somebody else's line. That's fine. Right? So our scale, our sort of focus for this company is really different. We're not marketing to the nation anymore. There's basically 700 people in this country that are the important people that I need to connect with and communicate and market to make this company a success now. And the cool thing is I have them all. They're on my Outlook folder. I know who they are, and we market to them. And that's been the big change for us. So I know that was short and sweet. If you guys have any questions, we'd love to sort of field some things here. Any questions about sort of? Yes, sir.
How many different sales guys are out there?
How many sales people does Wizard have?
From the diaspora.
There's probably, if you count current and former employees, employees that were there at the time, and then sort of former employees, you're talking about 300 people.
Wow.
There's a lot. Waterworks is a big company. They have 26 stores. You got 15, 20 salespeople per store, and you have turnover. There's a lot of them. They're an important resource. So,
I know you're emphasizing the salespeople, but we haven't talked one iota about the demographic of where these people are headed, because you can buy tile for $1.50 a foot at your big box, or you can go, into Virginia Tile and spend, $35 a square foot.
Sure.
So these people are so embedded in the business they only go to the higher end other outlets? Or
you mean our clients or the salespeople?
I guess both, because you want to be in certain zip codes, obviously.
Oh, sure.
But then also, how do you screen the salespeople to know is that the right store for you?
So the question is,
How
do we know if it's the right store?
How important is that pricing and then the end customer demographic in this whole scheme, because you're competing against the colder sides than American standards of the world, too.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. So the question is, how do we know if that's the right store, if the demographics are right, if we're in the right segment? Well, I'll throw out a couple of things. You can go get the list for free of the 100 richest zip codes, and I have it. And I'm aware of, like, do we have stores here in that zip code? You betcha I am. For Wizard, the tile market, there is the tile market, but there's also 20 different layers within the tile market. It's all divided by price. And when you get in the lower end, the price difference between those market segments is $1 a square foot, right? So where does Wizard fall in that strata? For some scale here, so at the Motawi Tile Works, say a square foot of plain 6x6 tiles will cost you $100 retail. The company I work for now, $20 retail. So where that puts Wizard sort of in the it's kind of funny because while it sounds like we're like still, putting it in that scale makes it sound like it's super cheap. It's not. Wizard is in kind of a funny place. We're in this strange little middle of the market, which is we are the expensive of the cheap and the cheap of the expensive. So when you walk into a store, when we look at a store that we're thinking about working with, we try to see where they are, what companies they have within that market space. As it turns out, we're fortunate that part of the benefit of the economic downturn was most of the companies our size and our price point are gone. That's one of the sort of our hidden marketing plans we shouldn't talk about was be the last guy standing in our market space. It's true.
Wait for the turnaround.
Well, honestly, it's true. I mean, there are, this is kind of, I'm going to go down a rabbit hole here for a second. When you make ceramic tile in industrial scale, the common way to do it is you have this kiln that's called a roller coaster kiln that's continuous. It's like a pizza oven in Pizza Hut. You put pizzas in one end, and it just goes, and they come out the other end all the time. And you got to have a guy standing on that end feeding it all the time. It only runs on one speed, full speed. And they have that in the tile business, which is great. When you're busy, that machine is terrific. When you're small and sales go down, that machine is a serious liability. You cannot contract fast enough with a setup like that. So we could, which is kind of the reason why we survive and stay away from that equipment, which we will certainly do. All right, so back to the slice of the market for a second. I'm not sure if I answered your question properly. We certainly do an analysis of the demographic of an area to determine whether or not they're going to be a good store. And then what that also does for us is when we're talking about not competing by having separate brands, you also try to work the market by not putting stores too close together. If you're in like North Dakota, they have one store in North Dakota. The stores may be 4 hours apart, and that's plenty. In New York City, it's a swimming pool. You want to sell our tile in New York City? Welcome to the party. There's 10 million people there. There's enough business for everybody. No exclusivity. You just don't do it. So you look at the demographics of the area. You decide how big an exclusive area you'll get. Right? But if you make different product lines and sell them to different people, then you can layer those on top of each other. Same factory selling 2 different product lines to 2 different stores in the same market. All right. I'm sorry. You have a question? Go ahead.
Yeah. My question was about the tracking of the salespeople as they move. As they move from store to store.
Sure.
Did you have a process in place for that, or was it just really about maintaining those relationships and communication?
It was twofold. One was we tried to stay in contact with them as much as we could, just by having our personal relationship with them. If we build a strong personal relationship with you, then we know what's going on in your life, and we stay in touch. LinkedIn is obviously an important piece of that, And so it wasn't as systematic as, we sort of got to it a little late, actually. It was only when I arrived and said we got to find some people that know us, that we can work with, that we really got in there and started looking at them. We track people a lot more systematically now. and see where they go. And oftentimes, if they're a really good client of you, they will call you and let you know where they've landed because they want to bring your company in and be a supplier. You guys did a great job with us. You got to have them. They tell their boss, you got to have these people. And so, a salesperson comes to their boss and says, I can sell $50,000 a year of this stuff. The boss is going to be like, go get them. And that happens all the time. Yeah. Next question. Was there another? Yes.
I was wondering, and if you don't want to tell us, that's fine. What made you move? What made you make the move from Motawi to Wizard?
I needed to change. The real answer you'll have to catch at the family reunion.
Okay. And where is Wizard?
Wizard is based in Los Angeles, California.
So did you move?
I did not move. Wizard is a kind of a funny company. When you think about it, if you're a company with one client, you have a really small office staff. And so this company is really pretty virtualized. So, my employer, he spends half the time at the factory and half the time, well, okay, not half the time anymore. Maybe a quarter of the time, up at his house in wine country and 3/4 of the time at the factory. And so, the fact that I'm not in the factory is actually kind of a benefit for me. I should not be spending my time there because I need to be on the phone or talking to people or traveling, which I do a fair bit. Our client base is all over the country. I am the sales director and the sales force.
And the marketing?
Yeah, marketing. Yeah, mostly marketing, but lots of sales support as well. So. Yes, sir.
Well, we didn't touch on it, and maybe you didn't have the budget at either place for it, but
the answer to that is probably yes.
No, with PBS and HGTV and DIY, how important are these tie-ins at all, do you think, in what you do? I mean, you see the Ann Sachs name every so often, and I think like that.
Less important than you think. Let me rephrase that. For a national brand, makes perfect sense. Sure, Ann Sachs tile here, there, yeah, that's terrific. Well, let me tell you a little secret about Ann Sachs tile. Ann Sachs makes about 5% of the tile that they sell. It's places like our company that make their tile for them. And so, what's good for Ann Sachs ends up being good for the small guys in general. For us as a company, Wizard Enterprise, do we get some editorial mention occasionally? Yeah, we do. But we're really the company behind the company. The way we like to describe it with prospective showrooms is that the relationship that you have with your client, I'm not going to get between there. I'm not going to complicate that. I don't want your client, shopping your project to another one of my stores. That doesn't actually benefit you or the client in the end. They don't know that, but we don't want that to happen. So, again, a really large national brand presence, it's not really in the cards for Wizard. We're relying on the relationships that a retail store has with a client to make that happen. We want to be their supplier and a quality supplier that they can trust. I mean, the scary thought, this is kind of we'll go to the little underbelly of tile world here. When the proliferation of small tile companies happened, when all those little garages started making tile and selling them direct, that was a great thing for the amount of selection and artistic material that was available. The downside is that we had hundreds of garages trying to sell tile and service established clients, and that ended up being kind of a difficult thing for these people. The tile makers are so small that if you got a big order placed with a small maker, it was oftentimes problematic. And so, for salespeople, it was they had a kind of a bind because they were like, oh, we love this tile, it's beautiful, but you just can't ever order it from those guys because their delivery is slow and you never know what's going to happen. And so, so being able to build trust with the salesperson, in some senses, salespeople will stay away from products out of fear. So if you can be a good supplier to them, because all they want is that job to go through with no hitches. That's really all they want, And so if you can provide that, that's a really big incentive for them. Yes. Is there another question?
I had a question, actually. As far as looking at your overall marketing, you have your relationship marketing, and then there's kind of the other things that you do as far as online and so forth. In looking at the part that's not the relationship, how is that divided up? What tools do you use for your additional marketing?
You mean like for the private label projects or for our own branding? I'm sorry. I guess
Just how do you reach out and build that awareness beyond the people who are in your relationship circle?
Right. Well, we do the typical things. We do a lot of trade shows. We have a big one in Atlanta, and you'd be surprised. We've been doing the tile show for sort of 3 years since I joined the company, and remarketing it and relaunching it marketing wise. And the number of folks that come up and say, "Oh, Wizard Enterprise, I've never heard of you guys." Or, "You guys are still in business? Really? Wow! I didn't know you. I mean, we did business like 20 years ago, but you guys fell off the map. You're still going." I was like, "Yeah, we still are." I mean, honestly, what happened to this company is that when you have one customer that is a terrific customer and is 90% of your business, I mean, that was easy street. We loved it. One client who takes care of all the marketing and all that stuff was terrific. We loved it. Until we didn't. So again, in the tile market, the tile industry is actually pretty small. There's the number of companies that are actually doing business in it is not that great. And so the fact that that we were sort of out of the general circulation for 15 years didn't mean we were forgotten. People still knew that we were out there. I guess they sort of knew we were out there. But it was interesting. It was an interesting change. Where this company has been around for 25 years. That people were just sort of in the periphery of people's minds. Oh yeah, those guys, they make tile for waterworks over there. But that doesn't matter to me. That's good for them. Well, now we're everybody's factory, or we're trying to be.
Okay, we have time for one last question. Anyone else have something they'd like to ask? Okay.
Let me make a plug though for while we're here though. For those of you who are new, who have not been to the website and checked out like the recordings of other talks here, when I was getting ready to do this talk, I went on the website and checked out those archived talks. They're really cool. That's a good resource. I would recommend that. It's cool. So there you go. There's my plug.
Well, thank you. And we can thank Roger for that, because
thanks, Roger.
that videos all those things and then posts them up there for us. And that really is a valuable resource. If there's a topic that you're interested in that relates to marketing or business, you really can go back and look on our website, LA2M.org, and look on the archive and find all kinds of interesting and valuable information in there. And this is the portion of the meeting where you have an opportunity to say a little bit about yourself and then pass the mic along to the next person. And so we'll get that started now, and then we'll have announcements at the end.
Hi, my name is Daniel May. I'm just starting out interning at 3.7 Designs with Ross and David here. So I'm excited to be here.
I'm just creative director at 3.7 Designs.
Hi, Ross Johnson at 3.7 Designs. We help brands tell stories and sell more online. I also help run WordPress on Arbor, which is a free group to help people use and learn and build websites using WordPress.
Dave Kwan, if you're doing a kitchen or bathroom and a walk-up in Hoboken, New Jersey, make sure you figure out how to get the stuff up 20 steps or 2 flights first.
Hi, my name's Chris, and I'm the CEO of Andy and Pandy. We've been doing the business for 7 years, and we finally made it to break even. There's a caveat though with that, and that in order to be in our books at break even, the CEO's salary has to come off the books. So now I am moving into my next career as a marketing manager, director, somewhere in Ann Arbor, hopefully, to build brands and possibly with another company. That if you all have any insight as to opportunities that might be available, please see me. I'm going to make something happen in the next few weeks. Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Stacy from your local digital print shop, Dollarville, and we love to do things fast and cost effective.
Hi, my name is Joey Hampton, and I'm an independent contractor, and I work with small businesses to get projects done.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Buckley. I'm graduating in the fall with a degree in communications and sociology, and right now I'm looking for a summer marketing internship. So if anyone knows of any opportunities, I'd love for you to come up and talk to me afterward.
Hi, my name is Mandy Frischman. I recently moved to the area from Florida. I work for Making Social, which is a social media marketing agency. Some of our clients are Hearst, AARP, Thomas & Vets, and I oversee our team of community managers and digital strategists.
Yeah, I'm Chris Kamansky from Design Hub. I feel like I've already been introduced. But I can assure you that Karim is as much fun and a pleasure to work with as he was to here today.
Hi, I'm Chris Ponder. I'm from DAT Health, and I do software integration in the hospitals and doctor's offices.
Hi, I'm Shannon Beeman, I'm talent marketing coordinator for Arbor Spark. So those of you that are looking for positions, come to my department.
Hi, again, I'm Jordan from Dexter Builders. You guys already heard from me, so I'll pass on.
Hi, I'm Amelia Bateman. I work for BC Web Design and it's landing for web development and internet marketing firm.
I'm Courtney. I just started as a salesperson with BC Web with Amelia, and I also do independent event planning. Excited to be here at my first event.
Hello, my name is Anna Jabari. I'm actually a writer director. I make documentaries, short films for the past 15 years, and here I am.
Well, I'm Kevin Packard with Foresight Group, print solutions that deliver, which would mean in this case everything from the product brochures to the exhibitor graphics to packaging and sample kits. You name it, we can do it.
Hello everyone, I'm Timothy House, and I just graduated with my MBA from Eastern Michigan in business, and I'm e-commerce. I'm looking for career opportunities in the area of digital marketing or web analytics. So if anyone's looking for any help in that area, just let me know.
My name is Justin Gibson. I work with Sandler Training here in Ann Arbor, and we help companies optimize sales process, sell more, and put fun back into sales.
Hello, I'm Jessica Morrow, and I'm an intern with Angenetics Digital Marketing this summer, and I'm an advertising major and currently a senior at MSU.
I'm John Matos. I'm originally from Brazil, and I'm also an intern with Angenetics Digital Marketing, and we also help set up this event. I'm a social media manager, and I'm looking forward to continue to network with all of you.
Wow, I get like 8 minutes to talk. I'm Roger Rayle. I do video here and a bunch of other places, and I started a video interest group. You said you do some film or something, so you need to know about this. A2VIG, Ann Arbor Video Interest Group, a2vig.org. We meet the second Wednesday of every month at the Cubs AC back room there. So we have a projector and audio and beer. So yeah, and there's some. I'll talk to a couple of you afterwards here because I got some ideas for you. I bill myself as a venture catalyst. I kind of help people get ideas get together and make things happen.
I usually go last.
Well, I have to announce.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah.
Carter Sherlin from Print Studios, commercial editorial and portrait photographer, which covers almost everything from weddings, products, portraits, events. Pictures I take at these meetings go up on the group's Facebook page, maybe today. I'm known for shooting and running, and so I was involved with Dexter and Arbor runs some applications around for that, and some copies of Michigan Runner magazine, which I'm a senior photographer of.
And I'm Mary Lou. I'm with LA2M. I arrange for all the speakers and do the publicity, post the speaker information up on our website. There's really a whole variety of things that I do. Stacy's our treasurer. Roger helps immensely with the videoing. So we're a volunteer-based organization, 501c3. If you came in late, did not have an opportunity to make a donation to our donation jar, that would be greatly appreciated. That's one way that we support ourselves. The other way is we have sponsorships. Dexter Village is our sponsor this month. We're still looking for a June sponsor, so if your business would be a great match for our audience. And actually, Derek underestimated the number of people who receive our email newsletter. It's actually over 1,700 recipients. And it's I mean, look around. It's people like the people around you. It's professional individuals, people that can spend money with your business. So it's really a worthwhile thing to do. And then you have a chance to speak directly with those people here on a weekly basis. So it's really a good combination as well. So if you're interested or you can think of a business that would be a good match for that, please let me know. And the other thing I wanted to mention, I'm also the Executive Director of Community Arts at Tecumseh. We're having an art fair on June 8th and 9th in Tecumseh, Michigan. And please come out for that as well. Our speaker, one more round of applause for Karim. Brand new perspective, I think, for really most everybody here. Many people have addressed business to business, but this is really from a perspective that I don't think we've heard from before. So it was really very interesting and a lot of great information. Next week, our speaker is Jason Brown from Public City PR, and he's going to be speaking about how to shine the media spotlight on your business. Everyone wants a little bit of free publicity. This is how you find out where you can, what tools you need to use to be able to accomplish that. So come on back next week, bring your friends. I'm sure you know everyone that can benefit from that topic as well, and thanks for coming out.
Derek's paying for one of your guys' so like